Hello one, hello all. I hope you're doing well. Today we are here to talk about Persona 3 Reload. I finally just beat the game, 110 hours on the game. Finally completed my first ever playthrough of a Persona 3 in general, and it was Persona 3 Reload. I am talking about this game full on, like just completely talking about this game. So if you don't want anything spoiled, if you are thinking about playing the game, if you're at all interested, just click off the video. I do not blame you one bit. I'm not pulling any punches with this video. I'm talking about everything and anything. Yeah, especially the ending I want to talk about because I want to talk about it. So if you don't want any spoilers, just click off. Don't blame you one bit, and let's get into it. I think I'm going to kick it off with social links because I feel like personally when it comes to Persona, the characters are pretty much everything in the game, and as per usual, I loved all the characters that I maxed out my social links with. When I first started the game, I was very perplexed because it's just different. I don't know if you can unlock a social link with Junpei, but I never did, and I hope you can, because every single second, every single chance that I got to hang out with him, I was absolutely taking it up over anybody else all the time, because it was just such a rare moment to be able to be had that I just wanted to be able to do it. And Junpei's like my boy in that game. He's the homie, and it's like really cool. I've played Persona 4 and 5 to preface, and so it was like just so interesting the things he deals with as his character and his feelings toward you, the player, and your guy's character. Like the way he feels jealous at points in the game, and he almost resents you and stuff, and you acknowledge it, but like you can't really do anything about it, but you want to be able to talk it out with him and stuff. But he kind of goes through his thing and he deals with stuff, and he it comes back around, and you guys are he's your homie, he's your boy. Like it's just, and I don't think another Persona has ever done that. I remember in Persona 4 with Yosuke, he kind of talks in one of the last times you guys hang out, he talks a little bit like how he was jealous or something, but it was never shown in the game. Like it was never ever shown. You never saw it. You never got that complex or anything. So it was cool to see that. It was different, and he just is absolutely one of my favorite characters, period. Like of all the social links I've probably done in Persona, I know that's probably a big thing to say, but I just loved him. I mean, I couldn't even do a social link with him, but it just was like, I don't know, just the feelings and emotion he put out in that game are intense. And I think that's part of why I love him so much, is because he just wears his heart on his sleeve all the time. He's just, I don't want to call him hot-headed, but he's just always, his emotions are right there out in front, and you can just tell what he's feeling all the time without him even saying it. It's really good. They did some great writing for him. He's just such a great character. And so back to what I was saying before I went on a rant about Junpei, is the game really threw me for a loop, because I was a little disappointed at first when I was playing, because I was like, oh damn, like I wanted to be able to hang out with Yukari and all these people, and I couldn't get the social links. You get them so much later, which is just so different. Like in Persona 4 and 5, I feel like you're just able to hang out with your group like pretty quick. And in Persona 3, it takes some time until you could start hanging out with the people that are in the dorm with you. And it's really odd that that's how it is, but in the end, you are able to have social links with most of them. And then there's this mechanic where like they have on the map, they'll have like a smiley face icon thing, and it'll be over their head, and that means you can do like an activity with them in the dorm, and that was cool. At first I thought like, oh okay, there's no social links, but there's this. I mean, come to find out later on, you can hang out with Yukari and Mitsuru and all these people, but at this point in the game, I was satisfied with just being able to hang out with them in the dorm, because I just wanted any interaction with them, because as per usual, when you start a Persona, things feel kind of cold, distant. You don't have like too many relationships or anything, so everything's just kind of happening. You're going through the motions, but you're not really don't feel that warm, cozy vibe that Persona eventually can give you because you make those friends. And so I really enjoyed this mechanic that they had where you could just hang out with them in the dorm, and it wasn't like a social link per se, but they actually got in combat bonus buffs almost, where, you know, if I sat down with Yukari and watched TV series with her and stuff enough times, eventually she gained this extra stat where it was like, I don't even remember what the one she got was, but I'll just say that it was like, maybe, you know, she uses less SP for healing stuff because she was mainly the medic, and I had her in my team for Tartarus literally the entire game. I don't see how you don't have her. She's just the medic, and she's the best there is for it because, again, like, you get her to use less SP and stuff, and it's just, she's amazing for going into Tartarus, which we get to in a little bit. But yeah, so this game definitely threw me for a loop with the social links because I felt like I could hang out with a lot more other people than like the people you're, you know, going to Tartarus with and stuff, and that was definitely an interesting turnout. I didn't expect that. Now, I don't know how original Persona 3 worked, or FES, or whatever you want to talk about, but if you could comment down below and like maybe inform me, because I don't really know, like, were there a lot of social links in Persona 3 originally? Could you do the things in the dorm with Yukari and everyone? Was that the only kind of quote social links you had, or was it like, was everybody else like the extras, like the Persona 3 Reload created social link? I don't know, like, I have no idea. So if anybody could let me know down below, definitely do so. But let's get to the story now, which, again, spoilers, like major spoilers. If anybody doesn't want that, click off. Okay, with story, I'm gonna take you through it kind of like how I went through it, with how I felt and everything during. Was at first, you know, I'm like, okay, like, we're, you know, we're in the dorm, we can go to Tartarus, we can fight and all this stuff, and like, you know, I'm going through school like a usual Persona game, and I'm just kind of like, where's the story? Like, I don't get it. Like, why am I even going into Tartarus? Like, what? Like, I guess that's kind of the point, is that nobody knows really. They just know that it's bad. But like, I just kind of was like, okay, like, what are we doing here? Like, there's not really a whole lot going on story-wise. I don't get it. Like, is the whole story just, you know, fight through Tartarus for like 300 levels or something? I was just a little confused on that. Eventually, of course, the story does pick up, and there were so many great moments that you could spend with the characters. Like when you first meet Aigis on the beach, that was a really fun one. You know, we're all trying to pick up girls on the beach and taking turns and being competitive about it, like who can actually like get a girl's number or something like that. And Persona has always been a game that can take me on an emotional roller coaster, but I feel like Persona 3 overall did best with that. I think it, like, I had, when my lows were really low, like I was getting teary-eyed, and I've never really had that in a Persona before, so it got me really in my feels, this game, especially when, again, spoilers, click off if you don't want it, but when Junpei starts kind of, you know, getting close with Chidori, and then, you know, she shows up at Tartarus and basically dies for Junpei, and I just, oh my god, I was so, like, especially after I told y'all what I said, like, Junpei was the boy, like, and like, oh my god, when that happened, I was just like, shit. I got so teary-eyed and stuff, and I just, because that was his girl. And it's so funny, because before that whole thing, I related with Junpei so hard, and maybe that's why, like, I felt this connection with him, because like I related with him so hard when, like, he was dealing with all the shit. You know, he's got the depressed girlfriend and everything, and like, not to go into it too much with myself, but like, that was me in high school. Like, I had the depressed girlfriend that I kind of had to like carry on my back, and it was like I was living life for both of us at times, and so I just really relate to that, and it just was a powerful connection for me. And when she died, and he's holding her, and oh man, it just was a powerful moment for me. And another thing I just realized about Junpei that just clicked with me and really resonates with me is, like, when you do the I don't know what to call them because they're not technically social links, but the things around the dorm and you're hanging out with Junpei, you really find out by, you can read manga with him and stuff. And, in those moments you find out he really likes, superheroes, but he loves baseball, and you're reading like this, baseball manga where it's like, all that stuff. And you can just tell he wants to be a superhero. And, and I think that's, he felt that way with Chidori. He felt like he was, picking up the pieces of somebody else's life and putting it all back together for somebody and being that superhero, which I relate to so hard. Therapy session, I guess, here. But like, it's just so crazy, like how relatable it was for me. And, when I really think about it, to think of that moment where he's holding Chidori in his arms and she's passing away, and it's like he wants to be the superhero that can save everyone. And like, honestly, even right now, as I think, it's just like, wow, that was a moment. And so that, like, the story and the highs were high, like it was just like when the group was able to be all together, not having to worry about fighting, and could just relax and have good times. It was so special. It was so great. And that's why, way fast forwarding here at the end of the game, Ryoji shows up, all that stuff, right? And he gives you the option to kill him or not kill him, and yada yada, because if you kill him, you're at least going to be able to live your last moments in bliss, but you forget everything, so like you don't remember your friends or anything, and I didn't want that, so I chose not to kill him, and I fought Nyx and all that stuff. And I was so excited because I thought I was going to be getting the good ending, which I think technically I did. But I got to be honest, of Persona 4 or 5 and this one, I think this was at least until the DLC comes. And if anybody knows, because I know that was part of FES, I understand that, and a lot of people are mad about that and yada yada. Please don't spoil it for me if you know, because I literally was reading an article being like, is there like a different way to get this in? And I saw that they were starting to go into that. I immediately clicked off. So there's a little bit of like, I know I'm spoiling in this video, but like if you could withhold that so that I can play the DLC and understand everything later on, that would be cool. Thank you very much. But in the end, it was definitely, at least as of right now, without the DLC or without that part of the game, it's just definitely one of the more disappointing endings. That's not a bad ending that I've gotten in Persona. I was so perplexed going through the end of the game, because I'm like being able to talk to all of my social links that I've had and getting the letters from people that moved away and stuff, which was cool. And I just it felt cool because it was like this epilogue where you get this great big closure on every character, which was really, really sweet. But it was off. Like people are like remembering, but like not completely remembering things. Like they forgot things, but then also are like saying something about it. Like I think it was Fuka or Mitsuru or somebody said we'll get together with everyone, but they forgot that they hung out with everyone in the dorm. Like everyone just kind of lived in the dorm, but they didn't really hang out according to their memories. But then like she said everyone, and she's like, everyone, why did I say that? And it was just like kind of stuff like that where everybody said, and like Junpei mentioned having a girlfriend or something, and he was like, wait, what? I don't have a girlfriend. Did I? And like he was just so confused. And it's just like the memory loss thing really, I was like, shit, this can't, like, come on, like I don't want, like, everyone's got to remember and have one last great get together, because I'm my favorite ending in Persona so far was the one I got in 5, which I think it was the royal ending. If anybody knows what that is. And I was just thinking of that one, and I'm like, I need another one of those, but it's just like everybody forgot and stuff. So I'm going through and I'm like, oh, come on, like give me the happy ending here. I want the celebration ending type stuff. And then finally Mitsuru was given the speech, and she like kind of is talking and did the thing where like she says something, but like she doesn't quite remember it. And she's like, why did I say that? She's like stumbling her words, and then suddenly she remembers, and everyone starts remembering everything all of a sudden, which I don't quite understand. Maybe that'll get explained later. I don't know. And then it cuts to me on the roof with Aegis, and I'm just laying down with my head in her lap and everything. And I was just so confused as to what was going on. And everybody's saying I don't look well, all this stuff. I guess my character died. Which I was just like, what? Like I was like, that's why I had to look it up, because I was like, did my character just die? And like everybody just showed up to the roof, man. And I was like, I get, maybe that's, the point of like the writers, or, but I just wasn't a fan. Like, I wasn't the biggest fan of the ending here. I think it was one of the more disappointing ones to me that wasn't, again, a bad ending, because I'm looking forward to celebrating with the squad and like hanging out with everybody, and my character died. So I couldn't do that. It was really disappointing. Like, I couldn't hang around and get the celebration and stuff, and like, I don't know, get the happy vibes after the win. Like, I couldn't get that, because my final moments with everyone was like they forgot a big piece of what happened. And when they finally remembered, I'm dead. So it was a little disappointing to me. Now I can't wait to play it, and honestly, it's kind of funny, because at first I was like, whatever, I don't care. People are making a big deal out of like the DLC thing or whatever. And now I'm kind of like, damn, I'm kind of in that boat. Like, why wasn't it there on launch, and why are they charging me for it, yada yada? Because like it feels like I'm missing something, and I don't know if that's gonna have the answer I'm looking for or not, but yeah, it feels like I'm missing something. So that's my thoughts on the story, and now I want to talk more about Tartarus. And Tartarus is probably, in my opinion, the best version of like any dungeon type thing that Persona's done yet. The amount of mechanics and things that went into the dungeons for this game were absolutely incredible, with the monad doors, the theurgies were so freaking cool. My favorite was absolutely Junpei's when he gets his second theurgy. That one was just absolutely the coolest thing ever. I loved it. I mean, if I have a clip of it, I'll play it here, but he's just, oh my god. Maybe some people would find it corny or something, but
Counting on you, buddy. I'm not screwing around. Coming through. Kiss your ass goodbye. I am never alone.
his line afterward and stuff was just like, like, I loved it. It was so cool. It was just amazing. So, yeah, the theurgies were cool. One thing I missed that Persona 5 had, and the theurgy is probably like the replacement of it or whatever, but when you get deep enough into the game in Persona 5 and the characters are all getting along and stuff, yada yada, you get to certain points, then they get like these, I can't remember what they're called, but it's a duo theurgy essentially. Like, it was like two people do like a special combo together, and that was so cool to me. And so I kind of wished that was in Persona 3 Reload, but the theurgy, was probably the replacement for that if I had to guess. And then there was like that big clock thing you can go to with the Twilight fragments, and that was a really cool thing, I thought, where you could basically take somebody that you've been kind of leaving out of the group, so maybe they're lower leveled and everything compared to you, and you can actually spend, I don't remember how many, you can spend X amount of Twilight fragments to boost their level so that it's basically to yours. And I thought that was really cool, and I really, really liked that. Although I didn't end up taking advantage of it as much, because there was a certain point in the game where I kind of got my party locked in with, actually my party was, of course, me, and then Yukari, Junpei, and Amada, and Amada was awesome too. I loved him. But yeah, that was my squad. Probably about halfway through the game I got it locked into that. Before that, I couldn't really quite get it. I couldn't figure out how to, set up the group. I was kind of messing around a lot, switching between, kind of unsatisfied with how I was doing things, and eventually though, once I got it, I was very happy. And then like the variation in the shadows that could show up in Tartarus, they could have like different effects like out the gate, and it showed in the when you're running around in Tartarus, like it showed before you got into the fight, and then you'd know. And then there was the the big boss shadows that could show up, the red ones, and then of course the ambush, and you could like get so many buffs for the ambush, which was really cool. As you played the game, you got a lot of buffs for the ambush, which just made it all the more tantalizing to do. So that was cool, and I don't think I'm going to be able to remember everything that Tartarus did that was unique to Tartarus, but there was just so many features and mechanics that were brought into this game that I thought were amazing. One thing that I didn't take advantage of was that shop where you could fuse items and stuff. So I'm gonna have to do that in my next playthrough. I have like zero thoughts on that because I didn't really understand it, and I didn't have the patience to look through and try to understand it. So, so I'm definitely gonna have to do that in my next playthrough, just take advantage of it, because I don't know if it's good or not. Anybody that actually did use it, you can let me know 100%. You can let me know down below if you thought it was a cool feature or not, if you thought it was worth using, not worth using. Yeah, let me know. And I just played this game on normal difficulty, nothing special, nothing crazy. And I thought it was a perfect balance, honestly. I mean, I don't think I really started struggling till probably the last zone. I had to kind of go back and farm a little bit and get myself up to par, but overall, the balance was solid in my opinion. I had a lot of fun. The dungeons, I mean, there was times where, you know, all I wanted to do was be in Tartarus and just kind of go fight and all that, which is crazy because in 5 I had that feeling too, but in 4 I definitely don't. I still don't. I'm very bored of the dungeons in 4. I pretty much don't do them unless I have to. And y'all can call me whatever you want, but I basically make it like peaceful on Persona 4 because I just want to fly through the dungeons. I don't care to spend that much time in them. I did it in my first playthrough, I think on normal or something, and I just didn't enjoy it that much. I just was like, okay, let me get to, you know, the overworld where I can just like spend time with my friends and all that and get the story going. Like, I was just like, let me not be here. But Persona 3 Reload and 5 I absolutely adore the dungeons in, and 3 I think just did the absolute most of any Persona for that. I think there was so many mechanics and stuff involved and just a lot of unique stuff going on. And I think that's gonna do it, guys. I think that's pretty much everything I had to say on Persona 3 Reload. Let me know what your thoughts are down below, and if you liked the video, you know what to do there, and I look forward to hearing from all of you. I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.